Okay, welcome guys, my name's Bianca. I'm here today to talk about my summer placement. It's going to be in the fashion industry, which is clearly stated on here. Basically, we'll just go on to the next slide. A little bit more about me. So I've been in the fashion industry for about 8 years now. Started at a very young age of 11 and worked my way up, worked with different designers. I worked on high street and luxury fashion. And then I decided to take a diverse path to go and start up on my own in the fashion industry on an online website, which I feel like is booming at the moment in business. It's been tough and it's been a challenge, but the reason why I've done it is because I believe in myself and I believe that I can make a living out of it and be a success. So obviously starting off for the summer placement, I decided to do a mind map of exploring different job roles which I could go into, and obviously owning my own business is the main one, which we're going to go into more detail later on. But I have explored different job roles, which is like the regional manager of visual merchandising for Jack Wills, and basically the main motivators which drags down here is it's good career prospects, so there is room to develop a career and move your way up the ladder. Go overseas, go on travelling. Yeah, it's got a good, healthy income. Yeah, like I said, the travel opportunities and larger responsibilities. So you can run a team, which is something what I feel like I'm quite good at in natural skills, management skills, and things. And peak, management perks and the larger incentives. So things like you get a company car when you work with Jack Wills. You get extra holidays. So it's fantastic, really. And it's a really good opportunity. And the next thing, obviously, is a sales advisor. With being still at university, a sales advisor's job, I don't look down on any different, because that's one place where I started off and I worked my way up at House of Fraser. But they all require, all these jobs with owning your own business, fashion-related, visual merchandising, sales advisor, they all come down to the path relation, which is a good communication, which needs to be in all. They're all involved in fashion, which is where I want to be. And good customer service and relations. So obviously within the fashion industry you've got to make sure your customers and your sales team you're on the ball at all times, because that's what actually drives the money. So quick over the owning my own business. The main motivators for owning my own business, I get to choose my own hours. Not like it's a perk at the moment, because I do from about 7:30 in the morning till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night. Obviously I have my dinner and things, but it's very flexible, but I can choose when I work, and if I want a weekend off I can choose that. Obviously being my own boss, I don't have anybody to tell me what to do, when to do it. I've got to basically, my money, what's being made is when I put the effort and time into it. Working with designer brands, I absolutely think that's a fantastic opportunity to explore the market and how to learn about a brand, what's been on the within the industry for many years, and they actually give me the experience and the knowledge to go forward to drive my business forward, and a huge sense of achievement, and that's my main motivators for that. Obviously choosing your own holidays, which is very similar to the own hours. Daily core motivators, I just quickly put this slide in there because some of these really push me to carry on in the days, because obviously you hit rock bottom sometimes when you've not reached your sales, so I make the most of each day, aim higher than high, which is just something what I have on a little board in my room, and I think sometimes when I walk into my office and they're either there, or I've just got to keep refreshing myself within that. So, the background of Ivy Label Boutique, so this is where my summer placement will take place. Obviously I started myself on my own last year. The name generated from a late family member, which was my grandma, called Ivy, and then I developed the last part of the name called Label to ensure that when the designer brands come on board that's the label. So that's the theory behind the name, really. I was inspired by a young age, really wanted to set up my own business, so I got brought up with my granddad, who was in the business trade. He had 3 businesses, and obviously my love for fashion just developed faster and faster when I went to college and studied fashion, and then I moved into the industry. Career, yeah, like I said, I class this as a career, not as a job, because my career is something what I'm passionate about and I love and I want to explore further. I do believe that it will be a success if I keep dedicated and motivated. So the summer project will contain different tasks and objectives. Obviously, back to the SMART theory, and you've got to be realistic with them. You can't try and explore different ways and keep it, directly relevant to the business really. So we will main expansion, so the designer wear, which will be menswear, which I've not had since last year when I started, and I've just started getting it in at the moment. Making sure that consistent sales are coming throughout the website. And yeah, the card machine payments, which is a big massive thing when I'm doing my events and my local ladies' evenings, closing jewellery parties. Card machines are always something what I need to explore. So I've had a look, and that's another thing what I will take you through on the next slide, I think. So card machine payments. So discuss and research how I'm going to do that, what tasks it needs to be. So get the quotations, which what I've done. I've had Global Payments ring me up, and they've offered me, you know, an astonishing amount of money for this machine. So it's a case of exploring the market, like looking into the detail, trying to find the best deal, and saving my money as budget as possible at the moment. So this is just a little action plan. I have printed you guys one off just so you can take it away, because I feel like that it would actually benefit if you need a template. And it's just simple and it's easy to have up on the wall to relate to, and making sure you're staying on track, which is what I said before. Your resources are your things like your websites, your written resources, your phone, your email, your research or your competitive analysis. So I do actually go out to different boutiques and actually look at seeing what they've got in, have a chat to them. It's good to always speak to somebody in the relevant industry. Your time frame obviously needs to be very realistic, which is this one. So this will be my daily basis. So the run a successful website with consistent sales, balancing time effectively, and update all social media on the website, which I'll show you in just a second. So involve the designer branding on the clothing website. So that is obviously, like I said, the menswear what's coming on board. We've got the likes of religion. We've got a lot of big companies coming on, which is fantastic because it does give you that brand recognition. And obviously, with it being my company, I want to promote it more and more, really. So, well, I've just touched on that one. So through this one with menswear, I've actually had to go out and have a look who else stocks religion, how they're displaying it, what they're displaying it like, looking on the website, have they used company photos, have they gone elsewhere and took their own, which is another thing what I do. I actually organise my own online shoots, and I take my models and my clothing out and with shoot locations. So that's another thing what obviously I look into, and it comes probably more on here, which is updating the website, making sure that it's doing right, and it's good for the customers to see a freshly created website rather than stale stock and seeing the same thing over and over again. And I just snip back to my SWOT analysis. Basically, this is just something what I'm going to quickly touch upon. The reason why I'm in this job role is because I feel like I do have excellent communication skills. I am a strong and motivated individual, which I know that that's going to make a success in the end. If you're not that, you need to sort of find ways, which is like I showed you before, like the daily quotations, like go and research your market, go and speak to people within the industry. You know, the job centre's fantastic. When I first went into a job, that's where I went. You know, I went and sat there with an advisor and they told me, explore your different options. I mean, I completely didn't listen to their advice because I went and started my own business, but I've gone back now and they said, well done for doing it. I still went into the industry and worked, but then I went back and started on my own because they're seeing the reclining recession, but sometimes businesses boom within the recession, which is something what I believe mine's done. Good teamwork and natural team leader skills. Another thing about the business is I'm not currently just standing alone on my own 2 feet. I've not got anybody else helping me out. So throughout the summer period, I know that I'm going to do a lot of festivals and a lot of events, which is where I'm going to need to employ somebody. So obviously then I'm going to need to start telling my accountants to start my sales employees and payroll and things like that. So depending on how well success is throughout the summer period, that's when it'll define whether I need a team or not. A good understanding of the fashion industry. My weaknesses, probably not a large amount of owning my own business, but that comes with time and experience. I wouldn't say it's a weakness, I'd probably say more of an area of improvement because it comes with like being in the industry and evolving. No qualification in website design, which is not an issue, but I'd say that it probably could help if I did a night course, as I'm currently designing the website myself. Then I do have a website manager who rings me up and says, do changing this in the colour and things like that, but other than that I design the process myself. So the opportunities are obviously endless, that's why I've not popped them on there, because I don't feel like the opportunities can stop. They're always constantly progressing. I don't know what my future holds, but I know that it's going to be with Abridged Boutique, and I'm determined to make it a success. So I suppose it's the opportunities to go abroad, overseas, to see where these garments are being sourced and specialised, to talk to these different designers. My threats, obviously different online boutiques, the local competition. And obviously when I go to these events there is some people who do fashion, but it's all a case of pulling in the same direction and trying to work together as a team rather than against each other. So I've just opened up on here. This is my website from my point of view, where rather than what you see. So these have obviously got all the editing buttons. You design, which is where I go into, so if I want to change the colour or the logo or the writing, I do so. When I mentioned before about the shoots, I take this is one of my models and we'll go out and shoot. I mean, this is just a simple white background, but we do use locations, and again, it's quite nice to work with like the local communities and say, look, can we be featured in this magazine because we're going to use this location, Cambridge Reservoir, etc. So and then obviously this is a new brand what's coming on board, and you can see the difference in the imagery there. So I'm just going to quickly show you, this is what I have to do on a daily basis if a new product comes in. So and then obviously you need to put the prices on there. And then obviously you can charge tax on this product if you want, so if I've not already put tax on that, I can do that. Short description, so that's just a case of, you know, a little thing. And then your images, so you pop your images on there. Attribute, so obviously your recommended retail price sometimes is something what people look for. It's a psychological thing, which I try not to do, but if there is a recommended retail price from my designers and do say that, I do usually tend to put it on there. Obviously a special offer if it's discounted. Your variants, your sizes, your colours, your different, so you need to make sure they're clearly stated on there. Gift wrapping options, delivery charges, so these are obviously something that I've already put in place. International postage, I get a lot of customers email me about international postage. If they're from Australia, they prefer to do it, you know, direct to me through my email and through PayPal. Stock control, so obviously if something sells, the stock automatically recalculates itself on the actual website. I don't need to manually update that. However, if the stock does completely sell out, I need to pull that down because they don't actually do that for me. Google classification, this is the reason why I've stuck with this website server. I am probably, at the end of the summer, looking to go elsewhere, just due to numerous of things that I just don't feel like this might be working for us exactly. But the Google classification, sometimes people have to buy for this, but if I click on clothing, I will try, clothing and accessories, this will bring a drop down bar, and I put clothing, and that should bring down, so shorts or t-shirts for example, tops. So that'll straight away bring me up to the Google. First thing you type in Google is a women's t-shirt, that'll bring that t-shirt what I've just created there. Again, with the bulk discount, obviously, if they buy 2 or more, how much discount do they get? Copying the product into somewhere else. So save and close, and it should bring up a little box, but obviously it'll be empty because I've not put a picture in it, which is there. So that's what my customer will then access on, double click on that, and it'll open up my description, how much it's going to cost them, and then obviously they can go through that. When I'm relating back to my SWOT and my action plan rather, the card payment side of things, it's because the website at the moment only has PayPal, doesn't accept Visa, MasterCard, etc. Simple enough to set up a PayPal account. However, sometimes people just want to type in the details and then go. So So next things are like my social media updates, which I do on a daily basis. So this is something, this is the blog. So this has obviously got the images. This is something I want to redesign throughout the summer to make sure, because this actually drives sales, believe it or not. Social media and your likes, like your blogs, and your obviously local magazines and your promotion, your advertisements, they drive the sales rather than the website doing it, just standing there. That's just a face in my shop. It's not a promotional side of things. It doesn't, say, come on customers, come here, we've got to do things like this. Obviously you're updating your social media, like your Facebook, people asking what sizes, and I've got to make sure that I'm constantly on that. It's linked up to my phone, my iPad, it's on the go at all times, really. Again, there's only 128 likes, but it's what people do at the side of that. So the people come in and they email me with the information where I'm at, what I'm doing. And it's again the same as Twitter. So you've got all your updates. You've got to make sure that you're selling your product as well as possible, really, and that's the main thing going forward. So just back to this little action. I did a mind map before on exploring my different opportunities. This is something what I don't only just do for my, when I want to go and do a job role or a project, but when I want to do individual tasks. And the use of colour and imagery is usually what makes you remember things. So again, I've printed you another one of them off, just to take away from you. And it really helps when you've got pictures in your head and images, just to write them down, or the use of colour to think, well, that path's a red path and that path's a yellow path, and then it sort of, when you're on the go, you think, that yellow path led to what branch, and what, and that colour decided to go down that way, and why did it go down that way. So it's all justification of what my motivators are and why I want to do it. So in a nutshell, the business is I live in a boutique, and that's what I'll be doing over the summer period. So that's everything. Thank you very much, guys.
Can I ask a question?